Hello, welcome to my channel, another Bibliophile Reads. My name is Greg, and I am here to do a tag. This is not Tag Tuesday. This will be December 31st, the last day of the year. And this is the Postscript Tag for 2021. And I do want to get this tag out before it becomes 2022. So this tag was originally created by Adam from Meminatori. I've seen it on Aaron Facer, Jim's Books, Reading, and Stuff, and a few other channels, and I decided this would be a fun little tag to do. And there are 10 prompts. The longest book you read this year, and the book that took you the longest to finish. That one's kind of easy. The Black Lizard Big Book of Pulps. This is 1,150 pages long. And I started reading this on September 29th, 2020. And I finished it on August 18th, 2021. And that is 324 days. Now, the reason it took me that so long to read this is, well, first of all, even though I own this physical copy, it was an audiobook. And what I would do is I would listen to my normal audiobook, then listen to a few stories out of this collection, because this is a collection of pulp stories from the 20s, 30s, and 40s. There are some fabulous stories in this book. It has Dashiell Hammett, it has Raymond Chandler, it has James Cain, and others. Along with those great stories are some others that are just okay, and some that I rather thought were kind of bad. But all in all, if you like pulp stories, this is a great collection. Pick it up if you like pulp stories. So, pardon me. A book you read this year that was outside your comfort zone. I don't think I read anything truly outside my comfort zone this year. The closest thing that I can come up with is The Mysterious Affair of Styles by Agatha Christie. And I say that because I kind of consider this a cozy mystery. It may not fit the truest definition of a cozy mystery, but it was a very easy, lighthearted mystery for me. And I do like my mysteries with a little more grit in them. But you know, I enjoyed it pretty well. And it was my first Agatha Christie novel that I'd ever read, and I do think I will eventually pick up more Agatha Christie someday. Prompt number 3. How many books did you reread? 19. As of today, 19 out of 133. I will probably finish 2 more books by the end of this year if my wife doesn't have more plans for me. 4, favorite reread this year. That is a real hard one to pick from. Top contenders are A Confederacy of Dunces by John Kennedy Toole, The Sound and the Fury by William Faulkner, Crime and Punishment by Fyodor Dostoevsky, 2666 by Roberto Bolaño, and Into Thin Air by John Krakauer, and Molloy by Samuel Beckett, and Day of the Triffids by John Wyndham. So there's a lot of rereads that I really, really loved. If I had to pick one that I think totally captivated me the most this year, I'm going to go with Sound and the Fury by William Faulkner. A book you read for the first time that you look forward to rereading in the future. That is another very easy question. I show this book all the time. This is J.R. by William Gaddis, and I absolutely love this book. It was just an amazing read to me. How you could have a book of 770 pages with no chapter breaks. It's about 90 to 95% unattributed dialogue. And it is just absorbing. I will probably have to do a full video next year because I'm rereading this in January with Alan at Big Hard Books and Classics. That's very rare for me to reread a book within basically less than 365 days. So really looking forward to this reread. There's Sunny, she's talking. She's my foster dog and she has something to say. Prompt number 6, favorite single short story or novella that you read this year? That is going to be The Great God Pan by Arthur Machen. This is a short little horror novel. It was written in late 19th century, I believe, or early 20th century, set in the late 1900s. But this was just a thrill to read. I just read it this month, and it definitely climbed to the top of my novellas. And essentially, this is a story of a scientist who decides that if he does a surgical operation on a certain region of the brain, that person will be able to see into other worlds and view the great god Pan. And when he does this to a 17-year-old girl, the girl goes irreparably insane from what she saw. Really good shorts, really good novella. Prompt number 7, Mass Appeal, a book you liked and would recommend to a wide variety of readers. Rebecca by Daphne du Maurier. This is the first time I've ever read that book. I picked it up because I'd seen it reviewed on a couple channels this year. Michael K. Vaughan, Book Time with Elvis, and one other channel. I can't remember which one it was, but it made me pick up the audiobook and listen to it. And I really enjoyed it. I was not expecting to enjoy it that much. The mystery, there is a mystery that I guess the main part of the mystery pretty quick on, but there is a little twist at the end that I was not quite expecting. So everyone would probably like Rebecca. Prompt number 8, Specialized Appeal, a book you liked but would be hesitant to recommend to just anyone. That would be From a Taller Tower, The Rise of the American Mass Shooter by Seamus McGraw. And this is essentially a book about gun violence in America. While I think all Americans probably should be reading this book to have a better understanding of how guns affect our culture and what could possibly be done, I can fully understand why some people are hesitant to dive into this subject. These are not necessarily the people who love their guns and think guns are an important part of American culture. This would include people who are intimidated by this subject. And so if you are intimidated by that subject, I'm not sure this book would be for you. And of course, if you love your guns, this book, even if you love your guns, maybe even more so, you should read this book because it could give you some insight, possibly. Prompt number 9, reflect on your year as a bookish content creator. Goals met, good, bad memories, favorite videos you made, etc. Well, I just started this year. I started making videos after I read the book J.R. because I did a search on that book after finishing it because I wanted to more understand it. And I discovered the videos leaf by leaf. He did a analysis of that book. And after that, I started watching more of the videos and I started watching other channels. And that book got me directly involved in BookTube. As for my favorite video, I have to say the one that's gotten the most views has been my tour of my library when I lived in Washington State. And that is followed by I Am a Fool video where my wife talked me into the 100 book challenge. And for whatever reason, that book has really caught on, that video has really caught on and has gotten me the most number of subscribers. So that is my favorite video. Goals, I don't really have any goals. When I started this was just on a whim, making some videos at random, and now I'm trying to get on a more of a schedule now that I'm unsettled and no longer working. Prompt number 10, tag some fellow bookish content creators. Well, by the time this goes up, yes, Sonny, I know I'm making a video. My dog just has to say something. So I'm not going to tag anyone because it's going to be December 31st, and by the time someone watches it, it's going to be the new year. But if you want to do this in the new year and you're watching, please feel free to do it. So thank you. Have a good new year, and goodbye.